we're going to have a show and tell session for you today, where we're going to show you some of the technologies. I think the previous session, they talked about the core and the edge. Well, we're going to take you to the edge and maybe drop you off the edge, So the hope is that we can show you some of the made in India technologies that some of the GCCs here have been putting together. In a previous avatar, I used to be at a GCC myself. It was called an India Development Center. 25 years ago, I came here to set it up for an Austin technology company called Trilogy. Grew it to a few hundred engineers at that point. And we were truly, what was an India Development Center. We would treat it as such. Then it became kind of the in-house center, right? And now, it's GCC, but the tone I'm hearing is, it's really, we're a center. We're part of the global ecosystem. We're an innovation hub as well, right? For the global companies, for your global companies. So it's an amazing journey, and we're going to see a little bit of that today. I think, we've got 3 extraordinary demos. So without further ado, I'd like to invite on stage Ganesh Rao, who's the head of R&D at Continental, and where he's building autonomous mobility products. And he's going to tell us a little bit about that product. And we'll have a little video as Ganesh comes up.
There are many reasons to ride a motorcycle. No matter if you ride for commuting, traveling, leisure, relaxation, and competition, all motorcyclists have one thing in common. In the end of the ride, we want to arrive safely. To support our fellow motorcyclists in this vision, our motorcycle experts within Continental Autonomous Mobility developed advanced rider assistance systems to enhance motorcycle safety without compromising the joy of riding.
Empowering tomorrow's mobility, eras, your vision, our innovation.
Awesome. So Ganesh, the two-wheeler is the most ubiquitous mode of transport in India. I think most of India is moved by the two-wheeler, if it's not public transport, right? So I was intrigued when I saw this brief. I said, how are they going to bring safety to a two-wheeler, right? It seems like a real challenge. Tell us a little bit about the innovation. Can we have a mic?
Check? Yeah, all good. Let me start with the disclaimer. We don't make the bikes. Yeah, we are an automotive electronics supplier. And this is the product. This is the safety product. This will be the first ADAS product that we are bringing to the two-wheelers. It's a radar sensor, by the way, right? It can do a lot of level 0 ADAS functions. ADAS is advanced driver assistance systems. Level 0 functions are like blind spot detection, forward collision warning, lane change warnings, and so on, right? 10 years ago, we bought one of the toughest ADAS, safety product to the two-wheelers called anti-lock braking systems. And now we are confident that it is the time for bringing ADAS technology to two-wheeler. We are working with the Indian and also global OEMs to bring this product to the real world. It's a product completely built out of India, from the business case, from the design, to the algorithm, the tuning the vehicle and everything, right? We are confident here that through these ADAS functions, we can reduce accidents. We can bring safety to two-wheelers. We have this vision that we call it as Vision Zero. 0 fatalities, 0 injuries, 0 accidents. Not just globally, but also in India.
That's an ambitious goal. And
Sure.
This form factor is really impressive. got a radar around the two-wheeler. You must have had a lot of challenges in trying to build this, out of India especially. And that's a testament to kind of the capabilities that we now have here, right, locally. So tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. I'm pretty sure you have all seen radar technology in the works. If you have seen the satellite launches or the missile tracking, you see the big radars, big antennas out there. But an automotive radar will look like this, right? It's almost the size of a visiting card. Yeah? To bring the technology to this size is one of the key technology challenges. Well, we are an automotive electronics manufacturer for a long time, so we are in this business. We make these products for the trucks and the cars and so on. So the challenge was to bring this to two-wheelers. When it comes to two-wheelers, the real estate or the space available is very, very less. And on top of it, the design, the styling of the vehicle is very key. Where you mount the sensors, where you mount the electronics is also key. So this is where a lot of effort went in as well. As you can see in our bike, it's mounted in two parts. One is on the front radar we call it. If you can zoom there, behind that plastic, so we have mounted the radar. Also in the back, we have the other radar.
That's amazing. I think, so tell us a little bit about the team that built this. We've got lots of leaders here from the GCC world who are probably, wanting some tips on how you did this in terms of what path you took and the capabilities you had to bring in, how you collaborated with maybe other parts of the company, maybe outside of India, right?
Sure. We have these sensors and the products working for the cars and trucks and so on. So we started with a very small team which were already building it, so they are very competent around the radar technology, around the machine learning, the AI, the data analytics part of it. What was interesting is to have the vehicle knowledge, or the two-wheeler knowledge, and this is where we worked very closely with the team which had built the ABS unit from the past, and also worked very close with the Indian OEM to make this team happen. And I'm confident that we have a fantastic talent pool, this innovation mindset of our team members, and also the ingenuity what our Indian talent brings to the table is fantastic. And we did this in the shortest possible time, one of the benchmarks inside our organization.
Got it. So as you look forward now, you've got this innovation done. What learnings have you had from it, and what is it kind of creating as kind of a movement, right, for you looking forward? Where do you see the future headed?
Sure. In terms of this product, we will continue to fine-tune this or to tune this product for Japan, Europe, and the US market. Those are the big markets for two-wheelers as well. Next big thing we are trying to bring is actually the camera sensors. The humans have designed this, the world for eyes, right, as Elon Musk says it. So camera is needed in a two-wheeler as well in the future. It can add some more functionalities, like it can detect the traffic sign, it can detect the lanes and things like that. But the complexity will be 5 times of developing this kind of a sensor if you have to bring camera. But also in terms of technology, we have to go towards deep learning, we have to go towards complete cloudification, fully data-enabled development, and so on. I think we have the good team set up here. We will take it forward. Looking forward for this innovation. Yeah.
Terrific, Ganesh. I think you've given us a little bit of the peak of the edge. I think this session was titled Show and Tell, but it's also touch and feel. So please feel free to come and take a look at the bike and the other demos that we'll show you in the next 2 sessions as well. So thank you, Ganesh. And,
thank you.
We look forward to seeing this on the roads in India. Across. Please, a big round. So next up, we have another great innovation. And Manasvi Sharma, who's the VP of Technologies at the Lowe's company, will be showing us how they're transforming the retail checkout experience, making it touchless, seamless. Manasvi, please join us. And we'll have another video as well. Although, Manasvi, I must confess, the shopping experience, going, picking up something, maybe deciding what to buy is fun, but checking out is never fun. And I think you're trying to make it seamless, frictionless, painless, pain-free, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the
So,
innovation.
first of all, thank you, Ravi, for having me here. And I want to really thank my team first. Because of them, I'm here presenting this fantastic product to this wonderful audience. See, Ravi, I think we are a home improvement company. So experience is everything to us. And when we look back, that checkout is one of the biggest stumbling blocks. And we thought that, let's reinvent the checkout experience. And what you see here is our own homegrown, one-of-its-kind checkout machines. This is all built on commodity hardware. Grounds up, what we have thought of is an open architecture at a hardware and a software level. So if you look at this machine, this is your payment device, and I can swap any other payment device on it. If I need to change my screen and make it a big 20-inch, 50-inch screen, I can make that, right? I can change the scanner, cash recycler, whatever I need to do, I can do that, and all on commodity hardware. And it doesn't end there. We have built our own operating system to run these machines. It's called Tachyon. It's a cool name. And what it gives us is that we can manage each and every of these machines in 1,800 stores remotely, sitting in Bangalore or sitting in Charlotte or wherever. We can install softwares in each machine. We can customize the experience that our shoppers go through for categories, for customer cohorts, segments, geographies, whatever, right? So this gives us immense flexibility, and that's the power of it.
Nice. Honestly, this must be one of the few hardware products that's in 1,800 stores across, from any company, I think. That's a substantial hardware product in the retail section. So tell us, you must have had some challenges, like I asked Ganesh as well. There must be some challenges you went. And there's a reason hardware is called hard, right? It's hard.
It's hard, yes. The biggest challenge is who will build it, right? So the talent. But I think we are lucky to be in Bangalore. We are lucky to be in India. I think we have some fantastic hardware, and software engineers out here who understand devices, who understand everything else. And I think that was our first challenge, but I think luckily we were able to solve it being in India. The second thing is also, when you're shipping such a big thing and, all your company's revenue is based on it, we really wanted to make sure that whatever we do in India works everywhere, right? So we created a store. It's an actual numbered store in the store network. So it's a full-fledged simulation of, not a simulation, it's actually a store. And that's where we do our development, test our development. So whatever we do, we are confident that it goes to 1,800 stores and it's all good.
Got it.
Right? So I think those were the two big challenges for us.
So certainly, checkout is on the critical path to delivering a customer experience. Tell us a little bit about, what is the productivity improvement, what is the efficiency improvement, the user experience improvement? How do you track that? You have digital twins here, you said, right?
I'm not a numbers guy, but some numbers are so good that they get stuck to your head. We are on 1/3 total cost of ownership from our vendor systems. Our checkout times are half where they were. In fact, they are less than a minute for comparable carts. We are doing 60% of our store traffic through these self-checkout machines. In fact, in a lot of stores, we are experimenting that majority of the checkout systems are only self-checkout systems. Right? So that's the transformation that we are going through. We are perpetually saving around $3 million every year, and the uptime is almost like 100%. Right? So that's the benefit. This is by far, I would believe, one of the few products that I know of which has worked so beautifully for the enterprise, and it's just giving rewards, year on year.
Got it. So that means you must have your hands full with new stuff coming, right?
Yes.
In the future. Tell us a little bit about, kind of crystal ball gaze again.
With self-checkout and in general in retail, I think the biggest problem today is pilferage. So we are doing a lot of, we are using a lot of AI, we are using a lot of, camera vision, etc. You must have seen in the demo, we had this overhead camera, right? So we are doing a lot of work around that, how to save pilferage, how to save shrink. We are also looking at how can we improve the operational efficiencies in actually running these machines. And also, how can we add some peripherals to make the shopping experience even better, right? So think of many, many things that those machines will be able to do in the future.
Got it. So I think, very impressive, Manasvi. I think, you've brought the off-the-shelf hardware together in a way that works for a large, Fortune 500 company in the US and a retail experience and at scale. Congratulations, and thank you for sharing these insights with us.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank you. A big round of for Manasvi at Lowe's. Now we've seen something from the automotive industry. We've seen something from the retail industry. Now we have something from manufacturing, and I want to invite on stage Satish Sundaresan, who's going to tell us a little bit about what they're doing at Elektrobit in redefining engineering manufacturing and automotive, the infotainment system. You have a lot of entertainment going on in the car now, and lots of digital devices, and he's building an OS for that. So welcome, Satish. And we have a video for that as well. So that very cool screen, Satish tells me, is a Sony car that's going to be launched soon. So you can imagine 5 screens in front of you as you're driving. Are you driving or are you just being entertained in the car? I think, Satish, you've got to tell us a little bit about this innovation.
Like Ganesh said, as long as you're not sleeping, that's fine. So, you saw two bits. The first one was, of course, the two-wheeler. So we are into 2 areas. The first is called middleware. So middleware is the Windows operating system equivalent of the automotive industry. So the two-wheeler segment that you saw here is our attempt to stop being a GCC. In fact, I take offense when somebody says you're a GCC, because I don't want to be one. So we want to be in a P&L space. So this is a business function that is completely strategized, designed, acquired, and now executed by India. So we're leading the business function for two-wheelers, especially for the EV segment. And the next one that you saw, that's the video of the infotainment system. That's actually the Sony Honda Mobility. It's called the Afeela prototype. It was launched, I think, a year ago. But if you don't yet know, Sony intends to launch a car. And if the car is as good as the TVs and the fridges that they sell, then maybe it's a good buy. But that's the infotainment system that was designed and implemented, developed completely by Elektrobit. And the interesting part for us is, while Continental is my parent organization and Ganesh is busy there, that part of innovation actually destroys or disrupts the supply chain. So you don't potentially need a tier 1 in the traditional sense that you would have in the future. So you can get that done and then go to a engineering manufacturing supplier and then have your car up and ready. And that's exactly what Sony Honda intends to do.
Nice. I think part of your journey also is the redefinition of your enterprise strategy. You're also responsible for global strategy from out of India. So tell us a little bit about that transformation. As you know, I know you don't want me to use the word GCC, but nevertheless, let's tell us about whatever your moniker is for that, right?
So there are 2 ways to it. One is what we dream about. So I'm privileged to have a bunch of mavericks in my team who don't want to take orders. So we heard Lalita and Puneet and Naveen speak about not taking orders, not wanting to take orders. So I had a bunch of mavericks in my team who said they won't do it. Then I had a couple of people who said, you know what, I'm tired of doing these global products for a customer that I will never see. So let me find out what it is to eat my own dog food. So if I'm giving something to a customer in India, and by the way, that two-wheeler that you saw is a digitally native EV manufacturer from India, from Bangalore, in fact. And the reason why we can't put that scooter here is because they said no, it's not yet launched. But the entire system, electronic software, comes from us. So one is, of course, our desire, what do I want to do? Do I just want to be taking orders? So that's one part. And the second one was, we were fortunate, we had a CEO. So the lady sitting in one of the photographs sitting on the ground, that's our CEO. And she was very clear that if Elektrobit as an organization needs to grow, it has to be global. And you can't just rely on what is called best cause versus best value and so on and so forth. Think about what can each region do and stand up for itself. And I just got lucky in terms of the strategy role. So,
very good. I think, you've teased us a little bit about the scooter coming soon with your technology in it. But tell us a little bit about, where you're headed now. The talent, how you're going to grow the talent for the next wave of innovation, the next wave of kind of disruptive technologies you have to deliver from India. And I think the bar, you just set the bar and it keeps going higher, right? So how are you tackling that?
So first is there is a certain amount of disruption in the ecosystem. So 50% of our customers are vehicle manufacturers, 50% are tier ones, and we don't know the role of a tier one in the future. So typically, we were having a joke outside just before this session. In the automotive supply chain, you really don't know who's making money. So the end consumer is still paying more for every car that's coming up, the model that's coming up next year, and so on and so forth. OEM is not exactly making money, tier one is not making money. The SOC, the semiconductor manufacturers, will make money into the future. So it appears that the commercial logic of the industry is somehow misplaced. And if you put it in context with the fact that a brand like Sony wants to enter, it just means that maybe consumer electronics has cracked commercial logic with using software or technology better than automotive organizations. So we are now in that game where we're trying to identify, okay, we have the tech, how do we make money out of it? So I know it doesn't sound cool for the conclave here, but the whole point for us is now, okay, we have a bunch of people in India who can do great tech stuff. How do we make sure that the global organization now extends its market, extends its total addressable market, as we call it, and more importantly, brings cash into the bank?
Got it. So I think, again, you're teasing us with a bunch of stuff. You got this Sony car coming, but it almost sounds like the car is now software more than anything. It's much more software defined even, right?
Exactly. In fact, that's exactly the term that's used, software defined vehicle. It's a buzzword, but that's the future.
Got it. So what do you see coming to India in the near term, right? In terms of, I know you've done some of the innovations already, but do you see a huge growth path there?
Absolutely. In fact, there is nothing that cannot be done in India. So we're not just looking at R&D, but we're looking at all business functions. So what can I do, for example, with managed services with regards to corporate functions? What can I do from an HR perspective? So all of that is on the table. We don't have enough takers. But I just leave the stage with the view that we've been under the assumption that everything can be done in-house. And we've come to a realization, especially at least as the head of strategy, to say there are so many opportunities of partnering and collaborating with organizations outside. And this is the perfect opportune time for us to look for organizations who can partner from a technology perspective, give us the scale so that we can bring in the cash into the bank. So.
Awesome. So you're looking to build the ecosystem in some sense. Thank you very much, Satish. If you can stay on stage, I'd like to invite Ganesh and Manasvi back on stage to thank them. A big round for all three of them. They've shown us a little peek. Oftentimes these projects are kind of kept under the hood. Thank you for exposing them. I think, Ganesh, thank you very much for the first one. I think your vision of Vision Zero, which is zero accidents, zero injuries, zero fatalities for two-wheelers is an ambitious one. So thank you very much.
For more content on tech and leadership, subscribe to nasscom YouTube channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update.